Lonzo Ball, to me, reminds me a lot of a man by the name of Norville Rogers. Now, if you don't know who that is, it's Shaggy from Scooby Doo. Norville Rogers is kind of like the Lou Cinder of the Scooby Doo universe. But oh, who is that? And then you find out who it actually is. But he reminds me of that in many ways, and I'm gonna be talking about them. This is part 2 of the restructured Scooby Doo project. So what's gonna happen is, so I can explain it, would be before I start talking about the episodes, I'll be doing a profile based around NBA player and comparing him to the main characters. So the first one was Luka Doncic. This one is Shaggy, Rogers, and Lonzo Ball. So with that being said, let's get right into the video.
I hear them getting closer. Now I feel them in back of me. Yeah! There they are. Where? Yeah!
Well, where do I get this comparison from? Well, the first thing is the size. They're both tall, lanky people, to put it bluntly. That's really where it starts. And, I think part of it has to do with the persona with the two of them. With Shaggy, he's viewed as a coward in a way. Someone's always running away from the situation, doesn't want to be in that situation. And Lonzo Ball, he's a player that, he's viewed as someone in a way that by probably more casual fans, to be honest, that, he's afraid to shoot, he really can't shoot, he doesn't attempt a lot of free throws, things like that. But the thing is, they're more important than what shows in the series. Because here's the thing, without Shaggy, Scooby Doo isn't where it is today. That character is so key to the success of Scooby Doo, and it's not even close when you really think about it. Without Shaggy, Scooby Doo isn't as successful as it is. That's all I'm gonna say about that situation. And the thing is, without Lonzo Ball, a lot of teams become worse. They become worse defensively. The flow isn't the same, things like that. But specifically defensively, because Lonzo Ball is a defensive monster. In a way, Shaggy makes Scooby Doo better. It makes a lot of things about the show better. Lonzo Ball makes a lot of players around him better. That's where you draw the comparisons between the two. The size, the general consensus among casuals, and really how important they are to their franchises. Because without Lonzo Ball, the Pelicans probably aren't as good defensively. Now again, they have Drew Holiday, which I guess would be the Scooby Doo in this sense. I don't know if he will be the Scooby Doo as far as this project goes, but that's besides the point. Without Lonzo Ball, the Pelicans aren't as good defensively probably. And without Shaggy, Scooby Doo isn't as good of a show, more than likely. That's what I'm going to say about it. Now, what's with Lonzo Ball? Lonzo Ball is a player who makes those around him better. He's a great passer. You don't see a lot of passers this good, this young. He was probably, if you were to take his passing skills in high school, they probably were better than some players in the NBA. And, it's his gift. He's a great passer. He isn't Steph Curry with a 40-inch vertical. He's just a really good offensive initiator. He likes to get those around him involved, which makes a lot of sense. Now, Shaggy is, in a way, coward, but at the same time, he's the one that usually ends up doing something to cause the monster to be caught in the end. He ends up being the one that takes the fall and ends up being the one that gets chased around the most. Trust me, I know. And overall, he just makes the show better. That's where I draw the comparison for the two. Again, is there differences? Yeah, I think Lonzo's a bit more soft-spoken than Shaggy is. I mean, it makes sense. It's just Lonzo's more laid back. He doesn't seem as scared. While Shaggy seems uptight and scared. But again, it's kind of similar in a way, because Shaggy's character stereotype is supposed to be the laid-back one. Even though he's never laid back. Even though he wants to be all the time. Actually, there is no laid-back character in Scooby Doo, by the way. Just putting that out there. Also, when you really think about it, they are different in the sense that Shaggy probably is a bit more athletic than Lonzo Ball is, and that's not meant to be a joke. I mean, they have Shaggy trying to jump up on buildings and stuff. Like, I just think he's more athletic. But yeah. Overall, though, I think it's a good comparison. It's not my best comparison by any means. But again, I see the comparison. I see enough of the comparison for me to make the comparison with Lonzo Ball and Shaggy. Because of, their ability, their size, they're tall, they're lanky. They're both kind of awkward in their movements. But at the same time, they also make those around them better. Whether it be in the actual sense with Lonzo being like, he makes those players around him better, or with Shaggy where it doesn't necessarily make Fred a better mystery solver. It doesn't make Daphne any more useful than she kind of already is. It doesn't make Velma any smarter. It doesn't make Scooby Doo any more comical, but in a way, without it, it makes the franchise better. Each episode is made better in that franchise because of Shaggy. So that's where I draw the comparison between the two. But let me know what you think about those comparisons in the comment section below. Would you see another player? I toggled the idea of maybe making a Shea Gilgeous-Alexander Shaggy. I toggled the idea of making Giannis Antetokounmpo Shaggy. But at the end of the day, I just think Lonzo Ball fit the mold the best. So with that being said, if you like the video, please feel free to like, subscribe, follow my Twitter and Instagram. On Instagram, you can see what I do outside of YouTube. On Twitter, you can, contact me. I reply to a lot of people. It's a good way to interact with other people. And if you want to see other things I talk about, like sports, not sports, but TV, movies, music, you get the idea. Have a nice night.